Yes, guys, welcome to Pure Coys TV. On tonight's show, I have a very special guest. Alan from Tottenham Logic TV will be joining me to discuss the transfer window and so far and what we can do going forward and what our thoughts are going into next season. Alan, how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm really good, mate. Just melting because it's so hot today. It's like 34 degrees or something. That's why I've got my guns out today. So, yeah, all good, mate. Thank you for having me on again.
No worries, mate. And Alan's link to his channel will be in the description as well, guys. So please get over and sub to Alan, who is fast arriving at 5K and growing fast. So get over there and join his brilliant community. Mate, what do you think of the window so far?
Well, I think it was a really fast start. I think it was none of us expected to happen. I think a lot more happened than we all thought was going to happen. We didn't expect ENIC to make a massive U-turn on all of their other principles that they used to follow. We've smashed the transfer record twice. I think some players that I think we're underrating at the moment, like the Robertsons and the Senessis, I think they're going to make a massive difference for us. I don't think people realize how big a difference they're going to make, especially for building up from the back. And even like players that we haven't signed, like Kingsky's going to be in now, and he's sort of a new player because he wasn't here last year. I think he's going to make a massive difference to our build-up play too. I think the transfer window is excellent so far. If you consider the outgoings as well, I think we've done really well with that. We've been getting high prices for players that were never going to be in our team, never going to be on our first team. Fuskovic maybe, but he didn't want to be here, and De Zerbi's made it very clear he doesn't want anybody that doesn't want to be here. So I think if the transfer window shut today, I still think we would be left short because I watched the last two friendlies and our biggest, weakest point is our forward line. If we can do something in forward line, which I think we will, I think this transfer window has to have a big thumbs up from most Spurs fans. It really does.
Yeah, no, I'm totally in agreement. I think, like you say, nobody in the world expected Spurs to go out and splash 185 million on two. You could argue like top class central midfielders, right? And listen, even Van Heck for me was a great signing. You know, a signing that I wouldn't have expect Spurs to usually make. And like you say, Robertson, hearing so much about Robertson. Oh, he's past it. His legs have gone. Yeah, he plays in what 45 minutes a day or half hour a day, and everyone's like, "Oh, tell you what, he's still got it. He's still a good player." I think Robertson's going to be a great signing for us. I actually think he starts. And just a quick question on the keepers, right? Because Dubravka started today, didn't he? Played the whole game. We haven't seen Kinski yet in this entire preseason. It is only two games, of course, well, three. Do you see Dubravka being a number one next season?
I thought Kingsky played the first game. I swear he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Dubravka was in for the first one.
Was he? Okay. Yeah, I think Kingsky will be number one, 100%. Dubravka hasn't put a foot wrong, to be honest. He could have got lobbed a couple of times today, to be honest, but that's just matey taking a pot shot from a halfway line and, you know, one-on-one lobbed over him. But other than that, I think he's been very quick off his line. I think he's been pretty decent with his feet, to be honest. He made a good save in, I think, the first half or the second half. He saved a penalty as well in the penalty shootout. I know it don't mean anything, but I think he's been quite assured. But I still do think that Kingsky will be number one just because of his elite ball playing ability. And for once, we don't have to just talk about his ball play, because towards the end of last season, we could basically say he was one of the players that kept us up with the magnificent saves he was making last season. So he's not just good with his feet. He showed that he's good at shot stopping too. He's not bad at coming out for crosses. You know, he could be the full package if he gets game time. And on top of all of that, his mentality is super, super strong. Everyone casted him off after the Atletico Madrid game, and to have that mentality to come back and show the world that, you know, he can still play at the highest level, I think, you know, having that in his locker as well is massive, and I think he will be our number one going into the season.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, but I do think Dubravka is a very good understudy and someone that if Kinski drops off, I haven't got an issue at all with Dubravka coming in. I think he's a top keeper and he's already done in what 3 weeks more than Vicario did in 3 years, and that's saved a penalty. So fair play
Very
to that.
true.
Um, got mate, players to leave, right? Who would you sell and who would you keep out of the players that we've got now?
Oh God, is it who I'd want to sell or who I think is going to be sold?
Just well, who would you want to sell? I mean, for instance, Bergvall. Would you sell Bergvall? I know you're a bit of a
No,
fan of Bergvall, aren't
yeah, I don't want to sell Bergvall. Like for me, the Bergvall situation is the more logical reasoning for that would be Saar would go before Bergvall, in my opinion. I think even though Bentancur's level, I think on his day is higher than Bergvall's at the moment, he's 29 years old. Bergvall has the potential to go above that level. Plus, he's club trained next season as well. It'd make more sense to sell Saar and Bentancur first over Bergvall. And I'd go as far as to say that Bergvall, I would probably put Bergvall ahead of Gallagher. But I think Gallagher's going to be used more in the 10 role at the moment. But I would not sell Bergvall ahead of any of them. No, I wouldn't. But if he wants to go, the only way he's going to go is if he asks to leave, because De Zerbi really rates him as well. And De Zerbi said he won't stop him if he wants to leave. And I think that's fair enough. If he thinks he's not going to get game time and he wants to move on, then I wouldn't blame him and I wouldn't have nothing against him. And, you know, and I think we could think that was a mistake in the future, most probably.
I just love the way De Zerbi is so upfront and honest, and he's just very much like, you know what, I want you to stay, but I can't guarantee you first team football. So it's up to you. If you want to stay and fight, stay and fight. If you don't, then you can leave. And he said that it's not just Bergvall. He's saying it to everyone. You know, if you're not up for the fight, if you don't want to play for Spurs, then you can leave. And I love that about De Zerbi. What do you make of De Zerbi's? I know he was here like 7 weeks before at the end of last season, but what do you think of this De Zerbi coming into this season?
I think that if you compare it to Thomas Frank, because he was the previous manager, I won't include Tudor because he wasn't here long enough. If you compare the two, Frank came in, and everyone knows this, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. Frank came in and said, we will lose games. Then he went on to talk about how good Arsenal were and that. De Zerbi comes in and he says, we should be fighting at the top of the Premier League. And he doesn't just say it. You can tell he means it, and you can tell that that's what he's aiming for. He's not just saying words to please the fans. I think he honestly believes that Spurs, if they get the right players in, and he's already said we ain't finished yet. He said we're going to get forward players, and I believe him, because there's no way they'd allow De Zerbi to go out and speak saying we're going to get players and then not do that, because then obviously he's going to make De Zerbi looking like an idiot. So he thinks that if he gets a couple of forward players in, a couple of important players, in his words, that we could fight for near the top of the league. And with one game a week, you know, it's not impossible. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I'm not that deluded, but I say, but we could fight up there for, if we got two really good forwards in, then maybe top 6, top 4, and that would still be a good season, especially if we went for an FA Cup or something like that. I think most Spurs fans would bite your hand off for a 6th place and an FA Cup maybe. That would be an incredible season, especially after what last season. But De Zerbi brings really good leadership. He's obviously getting players in the door as well. He's really good at enticing players to come and play for him. So his vision must be up there at the top to convince these players. And these are not bad players. This is Tonali. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League when he's on his day. Fernandes, one of the most upcoming 21-year-olds in Europe at the moment. They're both convinced to come in from De Zerbi. So there must be something about him that people want to play for him for. His style of play is going to be night and day compared to Thomas Frank. He's going to want us to attack, but also be solidified in defence as well, because the work rate of the whole team together as a unit is going to be insane. It's going to be, you can see it in the friendlies, even the younger players now with their fast passing and one-touch football, and they're even implementing it already. So can you imagine when the first team do it? I think we're in for a really exciting season, mate.
No, I totally and utterly agree. I think I think De Zerbi's been an absolute breath of fresh air after what we've been through for the last couple of years. I think he is everything we've needed, and he wasn't my choice. You know, I really did want Poch back, but I've got to say De Zerbi is 100% won me over. Let's go into the friendlies and let's talk about. We don't have to go into them too deeply, but the three friendlies we've had so far. Is there anyone like in and around the team or in and around the squad that's played that you've actually thought maybe they're gone, but actually since they played, you're like, I might fancy keeping him.
Oh, what ones that I thought were going to go, but now they might stay? Is that what you're saying?
You say that you thought they were going to go, or you wanted to go, but actually you've seen them in preseason. Like, actually, I wouldn't mind giving them a crack. Is there anyone? Or
I'd say someone like Mano Solomon has done all he can to be in this side. Like he can't have done any more than he's doing. Like the biggest problem I have with Mano Solomon is the same problem we have with all of our forward players. Is there's no end product other than Tel at the moment. Solomon is not. He's just hasn't got that. I don't know that the wow factor. Do you know what I mean? Like that. You know, we've got the Fernandez in, the Tonali in, and then if we said, "Oh, we're keeping Solomon," I think it would be like underwhelming. But I think he's done really well in preseason. But you've got to look at the caliber of the teams we've been playing. So that's what brings me back down to earth and think, wait a minute, he's doing all right. He hasn't set the world alight, but he's done. I think he's the only one I thought, you know what, he's done well in preseason. And if people thought Matisse Tel was going to go, I think he is the one that's proven a lot of people wrong. I think he's the one out of everyone. I think it's proven a lot of people wrong. I think, again, we have to go on the caliber of the team that he's been playing, but he's just a level above everyone else that's in our front line at the moment. I don't know if that means the front line is really bad and Tel's just standing out, or Tel is just standing out. Another player I want to mention, but I don't think he's going to be in the first team squad, but he may be very, very soon, is Luca Williams-Barnett. And again, we're going on the caliber of team that he's playing. But if you think about it, when everyone else is playing against this team as well, but he's standing out above our own players, like he's doing more than, like he's made a massive impact when he came on again. He hit the crossbar within 3 minutes of being on. He had a couple of chances. I think he selfishly had a couple of shots when he could have passed it, but he's only 17, so those things are going to happen. But he takes on his man easily. Like he glides past people like they're not even there. He's just got this knack of, he has got the wow factor. Like every time he gets the ball, I think something's going to happen. And I don't think he's going to be in the squad just because there just isn't a space just yet. I think the spaces will open up next year. I think Maddison may leave next year. Kulusevski may be leaving next year. We'll have Xavi. We might have Xavi and Luca Williams-Barnett next year if he keeps developing. But he needed a shout out because I think he's really impressed a lot of people, not just me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, I think for me, Luca Williams-Barnett has been the standout in pre-season. I think he's been absolutely magnificent when he's come on, and he is a young player that I actually I'm not really hung up on young players. For me, I don't care if we sell them, bring them in, sell them, get a bit of money for them. I'm all good with that. But Luca Williams-Barnett is one that I think he is someone we absolutely need to hold on to. And again, I don't think he plays a lot next season. I think maybe we should think about loaning him out, but he's definitely one we should be keeping in for the future. And maybe in the next 12 months, definitely see what he can do in the first team. Agree with you on Solomon. I think Solomon's done all he can. He was one that I thought, nah, let's just get rid of him. And I'm kind of still there, but at least with him playing well, like we're hearing today, West Ham are interested in him. We might be able to get a bit of money for him. But I think he's done all right. And if we did keep him and he was back up to Kudus, I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, that is shocking. As a backup, I wouldn't be totally against it, but I would rather he was sold on. Let's go into the Creepy news, because obviously Creepy has got himself injured. He's out for 3 to 4 months apparently, so he's off the table. So who is your man now to bring in as the striker? Because there's no doubt we need a striker. Yeah, who would you go for?
This market is really hard for forward number 9s this year. It's really, really hard. But there is names out there. Like you've got like players like Girassi, who I think is a guaranteed goal scorer. Like, you'll get him and he'll score goals. His movement is very, very good. And he wouldn't be a long-term thing. He would come in a couple of years, bang in some goals, and Spurs fans would probably love him. He's not prem proven, so it's not 100% guaranteed, but he is more guaranteed than bringing in an 18-year-old that's never played in the Premier League before. There's another name that me and you have spoken about before, and that's Ferran Torres. That would be my number one target if we was going to go for a player, because this guy scores many, many goals. We all talk about Richarlison's work rate. This guy's work rate is probably more than Richarlison's. He's quicker than Richarlison. His movement is elite. He knows how to get on the end of crosses. He's very, very reliable. He links up well with other players around him. And he's a menace up front. It'd be like he would fit into this De Zerbi system perfectly. And I think he would really, he's already got Prem proven as well, by the way. So, and I think he scored around 16 goals for Manchester City as well. So he's not a bad player. And also for the price, I think you can get him for around 40 mil as well. So it depends on, because of the World Cup, it might have gone up a bit, but I heard 40 million last time, and that's very, very good for Ferran Torres. And I think he can play on the right as well. And if you asked him to, he can play on the left. Very versatile as well. So those two would be absolutely awesome. There's Marmoush as well, you can think about. Some people don't like him, but I think he's better than what we've got. I don't think that's that hard, to be honest. Solanke's always injured, and bloody Richarlison, I'm sorry to slag him off because I don't like slagging off players, but he's just a really bad footballer. He's a bad footballer. Like, I've watched him against, like we just mentioned, the lower caliber teams, and he looks like the academy player, and the academy players look better than him, and that says a lot. It really does. What do you think? Who do you think we could bring in?
You know, I would love a Ferran Torres. I would love, and of course, it depends on
You've frozen
what
there,
kind
mate.
of system that De Zerbi wants. If he wants his team, for me, am I back?
Yeah, you're back now, mate.
Am I back? Yeah. Yeah, I would love a Ferran Torres. I would love a Vlahovic. I know he doesn't quite play the same kind of way as De Zerbi, but I do think there are players out there. I think Guirassi's a good shout. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling on strikers. For me, a Ferran Torres would probably be the one if we could get him. And like you say, we have the advantage of having a Romero who wants a Barca move. Barca are interested in Romero. Maybe we could do a deal there. So for me, yeah, if we could get a Torres in, I'm with you. I think he's a fantastic striker and would guarantee you at least 15 GA a season, which I think is what we need from all of our front three. Just quickly on Savio, it looks like he is the man that's going to come in. It looks like we're going to sign him. Are you happy with Savio, and is he an upgrade on Tel in your opinion?
If Tel keeps going the way he is, then no, he's not going to be an upgrade on Tel. But a lot of people are saying we don't need to buy Savio because we've got Tel now, right? Let's put this into context a little bit. If Tel gets injured, what happens? We wouldn't have anybody on that left again. We need competition on that left. And if Savio comes in and he plays extremely well and keeps Tel out of the team, brilliant. If he doesn't and Tel excels him, brilliant. It doesn't matter either way. But having two players, like, they're both quite different as well. Savio will get you assists, in my opinion. Tel will get you more goals. So it's good to have that little mixture as well. I think both of them in the squad would be very good. I think Tel can obviously operate in the 9 role as well. So if you wanted to play both of them, you could. Savio can also cover the right-hand side. So if Kudos did get an injury, we could put Savio on the right and Tel on the left. So having both of them is okay. I don't think Savio is an upgrade on Tel whatsoever. I think we have to see Savio playing for us to make that decision, in my opinion, because we're not seeing enough of him for City to really make that judgment, but we're seeing more of Tel. But what I'm seeing of Tel is he's really gaining a lot of confidence. He's got a hell of a shot on him as well. Did you see that free kick today as well? Absolutely insane.
Oh, I did it. Yeah, it was a great free kick. I think it's. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I think, like, if he could keep scoring free kicks like that, we haven't had a free kick taker for years. You know, that would make a massive difference in our squad as well. I think Tel is on an upward trajectory, but we need to see him do it against better teams, though. That's what we really need to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. My issue with Tel is that he's very good dead ball. Yeah, free kicks, corners, anything when the ball's out of play, he's very good. For me, it's when he's got the ball. His decision making is poor, and this is why I say about Savio, because I think he's very good on the ball as well. But actually, when he goes to crossing, when he comes into the final ball, quite often lets him down. But two different players, in my opinion. Even though they play on the left, Tel's more of an inside forward. Savio's more of your touchline winger. Um, for me, I would rather just go all out and get someone a lot better than Savio. But if it is Savio, it is Savio, and we will take what we got and we will support him. Just finishing up, mate. What are your hopes for next season, realistically?
As it stands, without the forward line being updated yet or improved, I'd say I'd be happy with 8th to 6th. I think like 6th would be brilliant. If we got into Europa League, it'd be excellent, because you know what, most years an English team wins that Europa League, and we've already won it before. We've got the experience of doing it. So getting into the top 6 would be amazing. It'd be very, very difficult without the forward line being upgraded, but a lot of other things have improved. We're improved as a team. We've got a quality manager. We're playing once per week, so it's not impossible. If we got forward line in and there were 2 top quality players, like a Ferran Torres and a Savino, maybe a Leao, then I could say we could fight for that top 4. We really could. We really could fight for top 4. What do you think?
Currently, I just don't see where our goals are coming from, but I do think we'd be better defensively. I think it could be. Listen, I still think we'll score goals because I think we will create a lot more with Madison in the side, and you know, I suppose you've heard the news today that Kulu's back in full training as well.
Yeah, full
Obviously,
training.
it's going to take him a while. Going to take him a while to get up to speed, but with Madison and Kulu back, I do think we will score more. Currently, like I say, like you say, if we get into your next season, that'd be fantastic. Maybe a cup. You know, if we get those 2 players that we need, though, or maybe 3, then I don't see why we can't challenge for a Champions League place. Again, maybe being deluded, but I think you don't spend the best part of £400 million, which we will have to spend, and expect to finish 7th or 8th. I think we got to expect higher, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, 100%.
Mate, thank you so much for joining me. We will leave it there. As I said, I will put Alan's link in the description. Mate, what have you got coming up?
So I'm just doing transfer news at the moment. Most days, sometimes I put 2 videos out depending on the news updates. It's daily transfer news every day, talking about the friendlies as well. If we have a friendly, I'll watch the friendly, then I'll relay my thoughts about it. Yeah, so a lot going on at the minute. I've almost hit 5,000 subscribers now. Last time I checked, I was 2 away, so it might have even gone over yet. So I'm hoping it has. So yeah, the channel is literally growing at a rapid pace at the moment. So appreciate everybody that's subscribed to me so far. Yeah, it's very overwhelming at the minute, but it's doing really, really well.
Good, yeah, absolutely smashing it at the moment. Thanks for joining me, mate. Guys, on your way out, please smash that like, hit the subscribe for both channels. And as always, come on, you Spurs.